today. Mayor and members of council, Hamilton Blue Dot has reviewed the LRT environmental assessment and have found the findings to be completely acceptable and comparable to other recent LRT infrastructure projects. We ask you to accept it and move forward to building this first step in your vision of the emission-free blast network. In February 2015, this council Hamiltonians' right to a healthy environment. Hamiltonians were proud of the motion and proud to be the first in Ontario to do so. At least one councillor prior to accepting the motion dismissed it as mother's milk. This was a disappointing start. Only after it was confirmed that it held no legal ramifications to anyone acting against the spirit of it was it accepted. Mr. Mayor, to our knowledge, Council has failed to act upon any of the resolutions of the motion. We respectfully request actions on these to ensure this is done as soon as possible. Perhaps Council's actions against certain sections of the motion are a result of a misunderstanding of their commitments through this declaration. We hope a thorough follow-up and subsequent action will remedy this. The right to a healthy environment Declaration is a framework for Hamilton's health and successful growth in a time where cities that lead on environmental issues will attract the businesses, the entrepreneurs, and the innovation that will ensure our future economy. I'm going to skip through this next part, but I will refer Council quickly with the environmental assessment and LRT. Section 3 applies. I'll give you all a copy of it later, and I'm sure you've got it committed to memory, so you probably don't need it anyway. But Section 3 applies to the environmental assessment. In Hamilton Blue Dot Group's opinion, the very thorough environmental assessment on the LRT project meets the needs of Section 3, and we see no reason for any of you to vote against it today. And blast networks, sections 5, B, C, D, and E apply. And in our opinion, LRT not only meets, it exceeds these requirements. In 2007, Council put forward a visionary public transit plan for Hamilton's future, the blast network, emissions-free, responsible public transit to support Hamilton's growth. Today, you find yourselves questioning a plan that you have been developing for 9 years, a plan you voted on 52 times, a plan you fought to have fully funded, a plan we need. For those recently LRT dissenting or questioning councillors, due to provide you with the following positive responses to explain why we are building LRT. Every major city in the world has some form of LRT. Hamilton deserves world-class transit. LRT is environmentally responsible, it is emission-free, it's electric, and can be powered by renewable energy. LRT is the best choice for transit along major corridors. Even BRT routes must give way to higher volume, more cost, and environmentally effective LRT. Basically, what you're doing is you're saving future Hamiltonians the much greater future cost and disruption by doing this as we planned now. It is the first step in our blast plan. We fought to have this fully funded by the province. Rural residents across the province are subsidizing Hamilton's future. We need to replace our buses as soon as possible. They pollute, and the fuel cost to operate them will skyrocket in the near future. We need to support responsible growth by increasing density in the core. This not only protects green spaces, but also keeps single-family home taxes lower. LRT makes densification possible. We have been working on this plan for almost a decade. It would be irresponsible to set back guaranteed provincial provincial transit funding. We have no developed Plan B to converting to electric transit, and it may be another decade before we get our acts together. It will cost us tens of millions to cancel, and LRT construction will save us tens of millions in much-needed sewer and water upgrades. Councillors, this issue is dividing the city. It doesn't have to, but you all need to be salespeople for your own plan to unite us. You've commissioned a survey through landlines about a project that affects generations that will never get asked their opinion because they use cell phones. LRT is planning you've done because you recognize that you can't address the needs of a city of the future by looking at where we are at today, but by where we want to be. It requires true vision and leadership to make the tough decisions and changes we absolutely need to make now. That are opposed to LRT, please explain your better Plan B. Explain why it will save future Hamiltonians when we know we will be forced to go electric and to LRT eventually at a much greater and possibly municipal cost. And explain how you're going to pay for it and when we can expect it. Anything else is irresponsible politics and...
No discussion. Phil Ryerson. Here.